When planning your garden, do you have visions of this beautiful manicured Belgian trellises, but then you end up with this? This is what happened to my project using my star Jasmine Vine. And I had planted it a few years ago and it just took off. And after a while, the one on the left, I lost. And so I went to Home Depot looking for a replacement and they didn't have one. So they gave me the next best choice, which was similar, but it just didn't work right. So now I have this vine that never really took to the trellis, it just went over the fence. And so I've decided to go ahead and rip out the left side, all the vine on the left side that went over the fence and the trellis. So I'm going to cut all that out, dig it out, and then as you can see on the wooden barrel, I have a new replacement of the star jasmine to go in and start again. So in this process, I'm going to rip everything out, clean everything up, weed everything, and clean up the area and plant and start new. So at the end of the video, you'll see how I have everything cleaned up and put back together. So watch along as I work and follow along to the end. So if there's anyone out there that knows their weeds, this is a horrible vining weed that's taking over the area. So not just our fence, multiple neighbors' fences out in the area have this nasty weed. My husband calls it milkweed because when you do pull it, there's a milky substance that comes out. I don't know if it's the official name. It stinks. It has these purple flowers on it, and it's horrible, horrible, horrible. So if there's anyone out there who knows how to get rid of this, please let me know. It's all along our fence, at least 30, 40, 50 feet worth. And it's on the neighbor's side. So every so often we would go over to the neighbor's side and pull it all off and think, okay, that's it, we got it all. One year we even took, and I know many people don't like this, Wasn't my first choice, but I thought I'd try it. We took Roundup Ground Clear and poured it all along there. Nothing. Here it is. So, if anybody has any tips, please let me know. So this is day 2 of this project. So a few days have gone in between. But I want to take apart this vine and wrap it down a little bit more cleanly and fine. So I'm going to use cleaning shears that I got off Amazon and go to Trellis. Okay, I think I have it all untangled, and that was like a mess. It was like undoing my horse's mane after a long winter season. So I'm gonna go through and try and detangle a little bit more and separate what I can and re-vine and keep it a clean, clean mess. Okay, that is complete for me. And I just want to say again, I'm not a professional gardener. This is how I garden. I did look on for some videos on YouTube about managing an out-of-hand vine on a trellis, but I did not come up with anything useful. Lots of starting them and lots of grapes. I didn't have any desire to grow grapes, so I didn't check on those. But so I may come back and trim a little bit of this off, but I don't want to trim too much, otherwise then you just get branches. So I'll allow for new growth to come back here, hopefully a little bit, and just keep it trimmed, and then maybe trim a little bit more right here. But it's all clean and redirected, like this one here is gonna go here. And then I had some that were coming along here go up. So I did that for each one. And then I just need to, and some of them are tied in with twine wire. And then I'll just have to actually manage it this spring. And then I have the new baby over here, because the other one I had in here wasn't the same plant, and this one had died years ago, and so I went to Home Depot to get a replacement, and they didn't have the same thing, so I got what looked good, and it just was a disaster. As you can see, this is the remnants of digging up that vine. Like when we were digging, my husband's like, "Did you plant potatoes?" But and he had to go down like 2 feet or more to get all of these out. So, all right, that does it for now. I'll put this together, and this will be a trellis video. It's much better. All right, well, I hope someone found something in here useful. If you do, be sure to subscribe. I'll have more gardening videos coming, and I even have some craft videos coming up. I want to make a bucket liner with pockets for garden tools. So stay tuned, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you like what you see. Until next time, thanks.